Welcome back, yogis, to another video. Today I'm here because it's spring. I chose this place full of flowers to transmit that spring vibe to you, straight from Ibiza. Today we are going to practice Yin Yoga for the organs that are associated with the spring, which are the liver and gallbladder. So spring is all about renewal, it's about refreshing your system, it's about letting go of the old, letting go of toxins, cleansing, purifying, so that you can go forward into the spring and summer with lots of energy and space for the new blessings and new energy to come in. For this practice, you're going to need 2 blocks or books if you don't have blocks, and a blanket. And when you're ready, roll out your mat and I will see you there in a second. We're going to come to a comfortable seat. Take your blanket to sit on, a folded blanket or a pillow. And you're going to sit on the edge of that blanket. We're going to stretch the legs out in front of you and to the side into a straddle. And you might want to use your blocks or your props that you have available today. So I'm going to bring mine forward. And then just take a deep breath to basically arrive here. And you might want to have your hands behind you. That could be a stretch that is deep enough for your inner legs. You could also take the blocks or rolled up blankets underneath the knees to make the stretch a little bit less intense, depending on how tight you are. And you also can remove the blocks, have the legs straight, and just keep your hands somewhere in front of you, maybe even leaning forward, depending how your flexibility is today. And let's just begin to breathe into that liver meridian that runs on the inner leg. And the liver is responsible for the emotion of anger. So when the liver is weakened or overworked, we might feel angry more easily, more frustrated, more irritable. And that can lead to real aggression as well when there is a liver imbalance. But when your liver is healthy, then you are able to use your anger in a constructive way. You are able to channel it to your advantage, meaning that you will have just the right amount of anger to stand up for your rights, to change a situation that you're not happy with. You will feel that your body is going to open up as you stay here in the pose, and you can start to lean a little bit forward. You can rest your hands, your forearms on blocks or a stack of books, or maybe you are even down on the floor. Or you can just remain in the first variation that you chose. When you have a strong liver energy, strong wood energy, then you're just much more capable of reacting calmly to even quite frustrating situations. You are able to manage conflicts in a really constructive and healthy way. And you are able to express your needs and your desires to someone without getting into a fight if the other person is of a different opinion, In this pose, it's really important that you are bent from your hips if you're bending forward, so that your lower back is not rounding. Your lower back is a little bit more flat, and if there is a rounding, then it's more from the mid and upper back area, so your hip tilts forward. So we can slowly start to release the pose. Come on up if you're down. And to come out of the pose, you will take your hands under the knees and support the knees with the effort of coming up. And then we can do windshield wipers. Simply take your hands behind you and drop the knees to one side and to the other side with the knees being bent. Just a lovely counter pose that you can actually do anytime. Alright, so let's take the right knee under, and you're gonna stack the left knee on top. And you might be in a higher variation or in a lower variation where the knees are really one on top of the other. So choose how you can do this. If the knees don't come all the way together, don't worry. If there is a big gap even, that's fine. But just make sure that your sits bones are evenly grounded, that you're not sitting more on one than on the other. We are going to twist to the left. And I just want to say again, if one sits bone feels like it's higher up in the air, then you need to support your hips, both hips, not the side that is up, but actually even more so, you need to put something underneath the side that is more down, and that will automatically help to level out the hips. So give it a try. So after all the work that we have done so far, maybe you can now notice that you're twisting a little bit further than in the beginning of class. But just remember that this is not about how deep you stretch. This is about how aware you are of your body, of your breath. Going back to the center, and we're gonna take a side stretch now. So take the left hand out to the side and take the right arm up overhead, resting it anywhere that feels comfortable. If you wanna keep the arm by your side instead of over the head, that's fine too. The last thing I would want for you is to get really tired and tense in your neck and shoulders, so feel free to take that arm down any moment. But as you stay, as you bend over to the left, think of puffing the right side a little bit up. And I'm bringing my left elbow down onto a block. And you can try that. It's just an option. It's not something that you have to do, but you can if you want to. And I'm breathing deeply into the right side, into the right rib cage. At the moment, we are deeply stimulating the gallbladder meridian. Gallbladder meridians in the hips, which you can definitely feel in this posture. And then the gallbladder meridian that runs up also, then from the hips up the side body. So a very complete stretch here. Come on up, please. And open up the legs. We're gonna take a moment to shake the legs out a little bit, give the knees a break. And then let's prepare for the second side. You're gonna take the left knee under and put the right leg on top. And as you see, you can have the knee quite high up, or you can drop it all the way down to stack
the knees, one on top of the other. And even though my pose might be looking different than yours, we are probably feeling the same things and we are reaping the same benefits. So don't think just because your knees may be a little bit higher up than mine that it's not as beneficial for you. You're still stimulating the gallbladder meridian. We are still helping the gallbladder to produce more bile, or to store or release more bile to the intestines for the breakdown of fats, for the breakdown of foods, and so that our body can absorb all the nutrients much better. And while you're here in the twist, sometimes it feels a little bit harder to breathe, but simply do your best to maintain a steady, deep breath to the best of your ability. And I'm not pushing into my left knee, I'm just holding it. And you will feel when your body wants to go deeper into the twist. You will feel it, you don't force it. It's almost as if the body magically goes on its own when it's ready for it. Let's come back to center here. And we are going to come into the side bend again. You might want to start on your hand, and as you progress and breathe through the pose, you might feel like you can go down a little bit lower. But always start a little bit more gently and wait for the body to invite you to go deeper into the stretch. We are puffing up the left side of your rib cage, breathing into the left side, keeping our awareness on the left side. And so in this way, we are stimulating deeply that gallbladder meridian. So if you want to lower down a little bit more, you can bring in your pillows or blocks so that you can drop your right forearm down a little bit lower. And even bringing the left arm down behind you or next to you instead of having it up overhead. For me right now that feels a little bit better than having the arm up overhead. Just a little more relaxing for the neck and shoulder. And there is nothing else for you to do than simply be there, be present, breathe through the pose, and let the pose really do its work on you. So push into the right arm, bring yourself back up to the center. And again, we are going to shake out the legs a little bit. You can also rub your lower back. I love doing that after a deep stretch, just creating a little bit of heat. And then you can rub down the legs again one more time, just rubbing along those meridians.
So I hope you enjoyed this quick practice with me. If you did, then please share, comment, leave me a heart, and subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. What you have practiced today was a short part of a full 55-minute Yin Yoga class for the liver and gallbladder, and if you would like to get access to the full-length class, then you can sign up below this video or above, depending where you're watching this video. Get access instantly to the full-length class and to another 3 classes all about cleansing and purifying your body, mind and soul in the spring. I wish you a beautiful week, and I will see you here again next time.